On behalf of VitaFlow and myself, thank you for joining us on this ketogenic workshop. I'm Chef Neil. Max will be along in a minute. I've cooked keto for a fair few years now. I first started out working with a lady at the back called Emma Williams. I went to see her, heard Matthew's story, and sort of inspired us to try to make a lot better food. When I first started out, it was a lot of like oil. People would put oil and cream together and get the kids to drink it and things as well. But we have come on so much in the last 3 or 4 years. At Matthew's Friends, we have another lady called Mo. She's really good at cooking as well, and they have some fantastic recipes as well. So hopefully you will be able to see what we can do for you. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the foods that we would use when we make the diets and things. The first thing we sort of say to parents is, things like sweets and cakes and chocolate and things like that, we don't use them as treats and things like that. You've probably heard this coming all the time. We try to use like normal foods and try to sort of manipulate them slightly and things as well. So there's a lot of things that are really good for us to use. So just starting off with something that's really simple, yeah? Like 3 peppers, okay? A lot of people say that there's no difference between the peppers, they're all peppers. These two have a lot more carbohydrate than that pepper. So again, if you're starting to squeeze the carbohydrate down and you want to lower it, why don't you just put a green pepper down instead of using the red and the yellow pepper? So simple things like that can make a huge difference to what you're going to do. So start to look at the foods that you give them. Other things that we really like onions as well, yeah? Everyone says like onions, red onions, white onions, yeah? Again, there's a lot more carbohydrate in there as well. Green onions, there's a lot less in there as well. So we use things like spring onions and stuff like that, okay? So simple things like that are really good to use. Rice, I went to Q8 and doing a ketogenic workshop over there, and the lady says, "Oh, we want to have rice." And I said, "Do you know how much carbohydrate is in rice?" She went, "Oh yeah, but our kids need it." And they were on a 3-to-1 ratio, and for a little bit of rice like that, there was that much oil in there. So we had to think of like a different way to do it. So what we could use is just get a cauliflower, yeah? Grate the cauliflower, use some cauliflower rice that way, and give them it that way. So again, it's about just changing the way you look at things as well. So a lot of people talk about these miracle noodles and things like that, low in carbohydrate, quite high in protein and things as well. You can use some of these things. The thing about using these is they don't taste all that good. Okay, you have to put some type of sauce with them. Okay, I'll let you pass them around. You don't have to eat them. Okay, if you want to use them later on, it's fine by us and things. So the thing with those is you have to wash them off. You have to use like a really quite strong tomato, basil sauce or something like that in there. But then we come to herbs, yeah? Fresh herbs. You use a lot of fresh herbs. I know our French person over there is going, "Oh yeah, I love my fresh herbs." Yeah? To me and Emma, they're like a red light zone to us because you have to use so many of them. They have a lot of carbohydrate in there. So we use dry herbs and we have little pinches of stuff in there like that as well. Okay, so you can actually sort of flavor foods that way as well. Okay, so the other thing you can do is sort of spiralize some, yeah? So just take yourself a nice little spiralizer. I have a posh one because I'm getting older now. And things, put it on, put your veg in. And this is a mooli, or an Asian radish. And just spiralize it down. Whoop. There you go. And then what you end up with is some nice little stuff like that. So you could do courgettes, yeah? This is a mooli, which is like an Asian radish and things like that. I think there's 3 grams of carbohydrate per 100 in there. So again, it's something else. So you could fry them, have some nice noodles, make yourself a nice little chicken curry or something like that. And you could do something like that, So there is loads of things you can do. Leeks, some of the things we like to do with the leeks is just cut them long ways, yeah? Blanch them. And then you could use them like pasta throughout the whole little things. You can stir them up and fry them as well. So think of your vegetables that way. These are little hints and tips for later on when we come to do some cooking, yeah? So be thinking, did the chef talk about leeks, spiralized radishes and things like that, yeah? Okay, mushrooms. So we love mushrooms and we love aubergine. Why do you think we would love these? What do you think would be good for these? Low carbohydrate, yeah? What else are they like? It's like a sponge, you know, when you go in the bath, yeah? Boom, drop the sponge in, it soaks it all up. This does exactly the same with the fat and things as well. So things like mushrooms and stuff like that, and aubergines really soak up the fat. I'm giving you little tips here, hits and tips about what we're going to do later on. Okay? So when you think about mashed potato and stuff like that, it's really got quite a lot of calories in there. So what I've done here is I've got one of these. Does anyone know what one of these is? Celeriac, yeah? I love celeriac. I thank a guy called Tony Tobin because he came and showed us how to use it, and he made these chips, which hopefully Max is going to bring up in a minute. So this, you can make lovely French fries and chips out of it, yeah? You can make a really good mash. So in here, I've got my celeriac. I've cooked it off, okay? And because a lot of kids say, oh, I want some mashed potato and things, just drain it off. There we go. Next thing is, whenever you do a ketogenic diet, I would love not to use a pair of scales, but you have to use scales for absolutely everything. Put it onto there like that. Okay. There you go. And you can have a nice little bit of mash. Okay. So from this mash, what can we make from it? So I've got this lovely mash here. So I could make a fish cake, yeah? Okay. So Max, what did you do with the chips?
I just deep fried them. After I took them out, put a bit salt and just a regular, like treat fries.
Okay. And so what we're going to do to add the fat into there is we've taken a little bit of mayonnaise, yeah? And we've added a little bit of curry powder to it. And there you go. So you can have a few little fries and things like that as well. See, straight away, we're not using any product or anything in here as well. We're starting to show you what we can do, okay? Just don't get stuck of like butter and everything and those things. There's lots of things that you can do. As I say, there is lots of recipes on the VitaFlow page and on Matthew's Friends as well. Some of the other things we talk about, mayonnaise, yeah? I've got 4 different brands of mayonnaise here. Okay? Every brand of mayonnaise has a different fat content, yeah? If it says to me, improved flavour, yeah, I just throw it away because I know they put a little bit more sugar in there and they reduce the fat, okay? The one I always use is Hellmann's, yeah? I don't work for them, I would love to because the amount of stuff I use of them, but one that we always use is Hellmann's because it is the highest. Things like chocolate, okay? All right? We like chocolate, yeah, but not, unfortunately, things like dairy milk and all those lovely things. We like these chocolates. So we can have 85, 90, and now we've got 100% chocolate, okay? A little bit lower in carbohydrate and things as well, yeah? There is some great little recipes. I've seen some great recipes on Matthew's Friends for using these and stuff like that. So we can use those type of things as well, okay? Sweetener, yeah, the type of sweetener we would use, I sort of tend to go towards the Hermesitas one, the liquid Hermesitas one. There is other ones on the market and things as well, but make sure you read the label and make sure it is the one, because some of them actually have alcohol, sugars in there and things like that, so we have to be a little bit careful. You've seen these before, all these Da Vinci syrups, yeah? So we have loads of these. So today, if you want to put Da Vinci syrups in there, you can have some of them. We've got raspberry, strawberry, we've got a coffee one, and then we've got a chocolate one, okay? I use these occasionally, I don't use them all the time, but what I do like is these sugar-free flavorings as well. So we've got a nice pancake one, we've got a chocolate one, we've got a strawberry one, these are all sugar-free. So when some of the food comes around later on, we've actually put some of these in there so you can actually have a little taste of them as well and have a little go with them. I like the maple syrup one out of all of them. The Joseph maple syrup one is probably the nicest tasting maple syrup. Yeah, my kids sort of really like this now. They don't like the proper maple syrup, but I'm getting wrong off my wife because it's got artificial things in there. Okay, but it's a really good thing. But if that makes your kids eat pancakes in the morning, have a meal like that, yeah, you can do those things. Okay, sweetness we talked about. What else have we got here? A thing called psyllium husk. Okay, so psyllium husk, we sort of use a lot in the PKU world, and we also use it in our gluten-free cooking, and it's just basically the husk. It's got a little bit of carbohydrate in there, But what it does is add a little bit of body into food. So we make this really good bread. Matthew's friends make a fantastic little bread bun and things like that. We make the MCT version of it. But what it is, when you see the bread come out in the MCT thing, you'll see it all sliced up. It is just like a nice, soft little loaf. And we couldn't make it without the psyllium husk in there as well. So psyllium husk is a really good thing to use as well. What else? We've got oils. Yeah, we have masses and masses of oil. We've got coconut, we've got butter oil. Yeah, we've got olive oil, we've got coconut oil, we've got all sorts of oil. Yeah, and the thing about the oil is, you know, this is the thing, it's going to help us out loads with these diets and things, but we've got to make sure that our plates aren't running in oil, because a lot of the kids and things I see, as soon as they see all the oil on the plate, they'll go, oh, I don't want to eat that, thanks very much, yeah? So again, sometimes masking the flavours and hiding them there is really important. Okay, flours. We love almond flour, big time, yeah? Okay, so we have almond flour, we have some coconut flour. But the problem is if you start using a lot of coconut flour, the kids will say, oh God, not coconut again. The thing with almond is, it doesn't have any sort of taste to it as well.